Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Ethan or the E-Reader, and this is season 1, episode 29 of the E-Reader podcast. And this is my 2021 April TBR. Hello and welcome. Welcome back to my channel. And this is my April TBR. Just a disclaimer before I go into the books I want to read in April. I might not read all these. I said a couple books in my March TBR that I didn't read, and that's fine. I'm not gonna read every book, and I did read a couple books that weren't on the TBR. So yeah, this is just a rough estimate, or not estimate, but just a rough thing that I want to read these books this month. I might not read them, but I want to. So yeah, I have. I always do my TBR. I do the amount of books I read the month before. So I have 4 books I want to read this month on my TBR. I might read more. I might read less. I don't know. So the first book I want to read is The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. If you watch my March wrap up, I read the first and second Mistborn books in March, and I took a break from it because those two are huge. Those are pretty big fantasy books, and I just wanted to take a break. So now I'm going to finish the Mistborn trilogy in April, the 4th month. And after I read, The Hero of the Ages, the next book on my TBR of April is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. I might read it right after Hero of Ages, or I might read it after another book in this TBR, but I want to read the huge 1,000-page book of The Way of Kings, the first book in the Stormlight Archives, and I want to finish the Stormlight Archives this year. So I'll start that book in April, hopefully. Maybe not, but hopefully. And the third book I want to read in April is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Roth. You might have heard that I started this book, or I was reading it sometime earlier this year, but I never finished it. And I'm at page 130, so I want to finish it and read it because it's very popular, a fantasy book. So yeah, that's the third book. And the last book I want to read in April is The Great Train Robbery by Michael Crichton. You might have heard that name before, and that is the same author as Jurassic Park. If you haven't, go watch my Jurassic Park review, because that book is fantastic and is up there in top 5 favorite books of all time. So I want to read another Michael Crichton's books because I really liked his writing. His writing was amazing. And The Great Train Robbery is only 270 pages. So this will be a quick read that I could read between one of the fantasy books, because I might not read The Hero of Ages back to back with The Way of Kings because the huge fantasy book. So I might want to take a break for something else. The Great Train Robbery is a true story about robbers stealing things in the Victorian London on a train. And yeah, it sounds like a cool concept. I just noticed I didn't really say anything else about the other books. Hero of Ages continues the story of the Mistborn trilogy. It's the last book. I can't really say much about this because if you haven't read the first 2 books, then I can't really say that, but you should really read it. Great characters, the first 2 books, and I want to finish the trilogy this month. I don't really know much about The Way of Kings. I honestly don't know that much. I know there's a person called Kaladin, but I don't really know anything other than that. So that's another book I want to read in April. And The Name of the Wind. It's a really good book. It's about fantasy school, but it's an adult fantasy. So it's like Harry Potter but adult, if that makes sense. That's what I've heard of it. But I'm 130 pages in, so that's what I kind of think of it too. So those are the 4 books I want to read in April. So that's pretty much all I gotta say. That has been my April TBR. I'm Ethan or the E-Reader. This has been season 1, episode 29 of the E-Reader podcast. Thanks for listening. See you next time.